Hello, so my name is Triana Pena, and give me 1 second. So my name is Triana Pena, and I'll be commenting on this game called Ladybug. And a very interesting aspect of this game is that it is very similar to a game that a lot of us already know and love. That's called Pac-Man, in the sense that, you're trying to navigate a map, collecting coins, while also trying to avoid enemies as well. A really great aspect of this game is that's very different from the classic game Pac-Man is that you can change your map through these, I think that they're called gates or locks. And it's very interesting because what it doesn't have from Pac-Man is the ability to kind of eat like those bigger coins and then have the ghosts in that sense in Pac-Man, or in this sense the like beetles be vulnerable so that the roles are reversed and you can actually eat the enemies. But what's really interesting is that this map makes it almost more feasible to avoid the enemies because of these gate changes and such. But it also is it can be a blessing or a curse in the sense that yes, you can avoid enemies more easily, but also the game can get confusing if you really don't know how to navigate the gate changes and such. But it's a really interesting game, and especially because this game is so close in proximity to like a classic game, so it's also it's a lot easier to be more familiar with the game and the concept of the game and the plot and the goal and such. But it's really interesting to play this as a 21st century gamer, especially because it's very simple, and there's also that nostalgia aspect. There's the simple lines, the simple designs, the very vibrant colors that these types of games tend to have, especially in the 80s, 70s, and 90s. But what's also really interesting to play this game is that we right now live in an era where I feel like we're more focused on trying to get back nostalgia. So for example, with clothes and with music, these things have been really happening a lot lately. People have been kind of driving back in that sense to try to revive that nostalgia that a lot of us, especially people my age, almost missed in the 90s because we were born so late. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to play this game now, just because we are living in that type of era, and it's interesting to be able to kind of revive that nostalgia. I did grow up playing Pac-Man in arcades and such, but playing a game like this I've never come across, but it's incredibly interesting. And I think this game also reminds me of, like, there are aspects of this game that remind me of games such as Super Mario, for example, especially the newer versions, where in Super Mario you can change the map by going through things such as pipes and like holes and stuff, and that'll change your journey and your specific experience in the game. And I think this game does a really good job of kind of exploring that as well, with the gates and the locks and changes like that. So I think it's really interesting. Like, this game has a lot of great aspects that we're all very familiar with, such as Pac-Man, but it also embodies a lot of great aspects of games now that, this game probably came out around it says publication date 1981. So this game probably came out in the 80s, and it still holds a lot of great aspects that games of today holds, such as changing the map structure and things like that. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting game, and I'm very happy to play it, and it has definitely changed my perspective on games from past eras, especially as a 21st century gamer. So yeah, that is my presentation today. Hope you enjoyed it.